According to a report by the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, nearly 90% of the world's population holds some form of prejudiced view. This data analyzed responses from over 75 countries, representing over 80% of the global population.
The global waste sector is the third largest source of human-driven methane emissions, and according to research posted by Statista, its major commodity, municipal solid waste, is expected to grow by 70% by 2050.
These two data sets may seem unrelated, but the first was to clarify that ignorance is a problem, and the second was to show that unpopular industries are disregarded by most of the world because many refuse to grasp the weight they carry behind the scenes. The focal problem here is that people do not know that they do not know. So how do we help important industries with low popularity gain traction and prevent the fatal lack of human resources when the public enlightenment sector has become a crowded and bloody battleground where everyone is chasing the same audience with the same...
Social media found a temporary fix in short-form content, but that's tanking the world's attention span. How do we show the public our endangered industries without exchanging enlightenment for their focus depth?
Introducing Illuminare, founded by Chidimma Esther Ibironke, and Darren Ohiomoba from Christian schools in Lagos, Nigeria. Illuminare is your blue ocean sanctuary for learning and growth. Here, we're not just sharing information, we're fostering a community dedicated to overcoming ignorance one fact at a time. In today's digital world, there's a minimal shortage of information, which means ignorance is no longer a simple lack of knowledge, but a refusal to seek it. Illuminare aims to eliminate this blatant resistance by bringing knowledge to your doorstep. With features like intricate notification settings and extreme fact meticulousness, Illuminare is your one-stop shop for your most broad, generalized, and seemingly random knowledge needs.
Illuminare is not the only random fact app out there, but consumers are dissatisfied with the powers that be. So let's take a look at what's happening over the As-Is strategy canvas. Major competitors are focused on high prices, ad frequency, and quantity over quality. Do you see how clustered together the graph data is? This is what causes the red ocean scenario, where companies fight for the endorsement of consumers who are just supposed to accept them as the massive echo chambers they are. What they're doing is pumping out fun facts as fast and by extension as clumsily as possible. This is what scares off our first tier of non-customers, the people who give 1-star reviews and swear to never return. They have shown interest in finding a random facts app, but haven't quite found what they're looking for. We plan to reach them by meeting and even exceeding their expectations by constantly upgrading our app. Our second tier of non-customers consists of the people who know about random facts apps and stay away from them, either because they prefer other forms of fact acquisition or dislike the high-cost, low-utility schedule most facts apps have. We plan to reach them by mixing features of other methods of fact acquisition with the usual fact app features, making our app high value.
Our third tier of non-customers is made of the people who are either completely uninterested in fact acquisition or people who are oblivious to the existence of fact apps. We plan to reach them by heavy marketing and gamification of our app to make it a fun pastime. Our red ocean customers are more obvious to point out. These are the curious minds who use and will continue to use random fact apps despite their convictions against it. We focus on the impact we can indirectly generate by igniting this warm fire in all the individual elements of the biggest universal set we can get, the global online population.
We aim to attract our seemingly unattainable audience by eliminating fact redundancy and fact inaccuracy, reducing fact quantity and ad frequency, raising widget functionality, personalization options, and fact meticulousness, and creating user fact addition capabilities, intricate notification settings, regional tests, and a gamification and point system. How do we know it will work? Because we were the public. We no longer are, as we are not as oblivious to these industries as we once were, which will force us to constantly turn to the new and improved public to see what floats their boat. Our app is designed precisely to give you the most specific facts about your most random topics of interest. Let's help you develop the knowledge you didn't know you needed with Illuminare.